Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. So we are nearing the 3rd year anniversary and small trickles of hype are making their way over. So just real quick, shout out to Renzi for the data mines and all the other good stuff, and to DBZ Space. So we're just going to quickly go through these because there's a lot of new free units that I want to take a look at that I'm really excited for. So real quick, this infamous and amazing banner is making a return. Try to drain everyone of the chrono crystals, get a bunch of Legends Limited Z power on the final step. You wouldn't really be going wrong if you try to summon on this one just for this, but do keep in mind that it's obviously intended to drain all your chrono crystals. We are getting a new event here. It looks like Legends definitely did not forget about Goku Day, and it allows us to get a transformation for every Goku form up until Super Saiyan Blue, and we can get them all to 14 stars. But do keep in mind the event starts on the 24th, so you're not going to be able to do it right at reset. It's going to be next week. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see what we're going to be able to do here. I'm going to assume it's a little bit time gated. That's what it seems like here. So it looks like the final battle here on the 29th. So it's definitely going to be a time-gated event, but that is fine because getting free units is always great. In terms of the equipment, we have this new Awakened Hybrid Saiyan plus Future Equip, which is really ridiculous. High blast defense, high special move buff, and for some reason 30% strike or blast attack. So if you're a hybrid main, this is probably what you're going to want to get. Yellow Future Gohan DLF, as well as the blue Trunks would benefit greatly from this. So yay, more Hybrid Saiyans equips. Now we're going to go into the free-to-play characters, which I actually care about. We're going to be starting out with good old Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now he is yellow, which kind of... it's not the worst thing in the world, but obviously it's not the greatest just because Angel Vegeta is yellow. So that's, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to have him at 14 stars because we're going to be able to farm these guys up to 14 stars. So let's go ahead and take a look. Stats wise, not bad, pretty reminiscent of a free character. It's not the worst thing in the world. Main ability, restore your own ki by 50, increases card draw speed by 1 level for 15 timer counts, plus 20% to damage inflicted. Only needs 5 timer counts to go ahead and do that, which is pretty cool. Applies the following effects to self from battle start for 60 timer counts, 60% to damage inflicted, plus 50% to strike damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 30%, plus 70% to ki recovery, and then anti-regen inflicted damage up, 30% to damage inflicted against regen, and reduces damage received from regen. So it seems like he's a pretty simple character. I mean, they released 6 at once, so I guess it makes sense that they're going to be rather plain. I'm just excited for more Super Saiyan 3 characters. I don't mind this whatsoever, and look at that. It looks like, yeah, strike and blast attack for either Majin Buu Saga or yellow. Pretty cool. I don't mind that whatsoever. And these are the equipments for him, so it's just nice to see some more Super Saiyan 3. I'm curious to see if his animations are going to be recycled, but considering he has a rather simplistic kit, he probably is going to be recycled animations like the red Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is not really that big of an issue. I mean, green card, blue card, major impact, increased strike attack, reduced cost. It's pretty plain, but I'm still excited for it. Now we're also going to be getting a base form Goku who is red. Not bad, not bad. Melee type as well. His main ability, inflict all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 30% to strike damage received for 30 timer counts. 40% to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts. Restore own health by 20 and ki by 40. Takes 10 timer counts. First passive, engage inflicted damage up. Has the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. 60% to damage inflicted. Reduces damage received by 30% for 20 timer counts. And then it looks like applies the following effects to self from battle start for 80 timer counts. He gets level 1 card draw speed and 60% to ki recovery. So it seems like he has an easier kit actually than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is interesting. Blue card, major impact, 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Green card, 30% to strike damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Remove attribute downgrades in normal conditions. And yeah, he's going to be Saiyan, Saga, or Red. So it looks like every chapter that Goku has gone through, we're going to be getting a form for him, which also includes the infamous Super Saiyan Goku. That is an amazing looking art. So he's range type, this one here, so higher blast attack. His defenses aren't that high. I'm going to assume that it made him more of a powerhouse then. Main ability, Awakened Power. Draw a special move. 50% of damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Cancel lone attribute downgrades. That's going to work pretty damn good with the Namek Goku should you have them run together, actually. First passive, inflicted damage up. Applies the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. Restore on ki by 30. 70% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Reduce damage received by 20% for 15 timer counts. And then he has a Rage inflicted damage up passive. Applies the following effects to self per defeated battle member when this character enters the battlefield. 20% of damage inflicted cannot be cancelled, so up to 40% when he's last stand. Reduce damage received by 10% cannot be cancelled, so up to 20% last stand. And then restore health 10%. Not bad. I see, honestly, a lot of these last stand Namek Goku seem to have this kind of thing, which is pretty neat. I mean, Super Saiyan 4, the LF, as well as the Zenkai 7 Red Super Saiyan Goku does something similar to this. And then, what do we got? His Super Kamehameha, Major Impact, 50% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. Green card, Restore Ki, extra damage inflicted. Cards are normal, pretty plain. And then, yeah, Frieza Saga or yellow. Understandably so, because that's where he is from. Super Saiyan 2 Goku, who is blue. He is a defense type, and respectively so. His defense stats look to be right up there with that. Main ability, restore ally health by 20%. Inflict all enemies with attribute downgrade -1 to card draw speed for 15 timer counts. This is actually pretty good. And cancel enemy attribute upgrades. This is not a bad main ability, actually, for a free unit. This is pretty good. His first passive, applies the following effects to self when faced with an enemy. 30% of damage inflicted. Reduce damage received by 25% for 10 timer counts. So if you bring him in on a cover rescue, you immediately get this 25%. Additional plus 30% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts every time he's faced with an enemy Saiyan. So it makes sense because this is during the moment where he faced Majin Vegeta. And then his extra passive, his sustained damage cut, reduce damage received by 40% until combo ends when changing cover, plus 25% to damage inflicted for 25 timer counts, and plus 2 own sub count. So you bring him in, he's easily going to be getting 65% reduced damage received, which is not bad. That's pretty good for a free unit with 160k-ish defenses as well. He's going to do a decent job tanking. Blue card is your standard blue card, major impact, a little bit of a buff for himself. Green card has him heal himself, which is good. 15% is rather high. Cancel ally attribute downgrades. Nice. And then this one's probably, yeah, blue, double defense or Majin Buu Saga. Nice. And then Super Saiyan God Goku, who is green. He is a melee type as well in terms of his stats. So, highest strike attack. Defenses are not bad. Main ability, draw a strike card next. Oh, a main ability that guarantees a strike card. That's pretty cool. Restore own health by 20, ki by 40. Inflict all enemies with attribute downgrade plus. Whoa, ho. Super Saiyan God Goku. Hey, this is not bad. I know it's only a strike card, but you can make some interesting plays with this. Being able to add 5 sub counts to all the enemies basically means that they can't switch anymore as part of a main ability. That's pretty good. That is pretty darn good. Although I could be incorrect and this is more of when you swap out, it now becomes 15, less so than it becomes 5 for everyone and you're locked in. It's going to depend on the wording, but I'm feeling this is a lock-in main ability. Is it not? Actually, no. For 15 timer counts? No, this is going to be a swap out. Never mind. You could still make some interesting plays with this, I suppose. First passive, applies the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. 40% to damage inflicted, 20% less damage received, additional 30% damage inflicted when a Saiyan other than this character's a battle member. And then his second passive applies the following effects to self each time his character uses a strike or blast card. Oh, look. Hey, look at that. He's got that passive here. He doesn't have card draw speed, but gaining 10 ki every time he uses a card. That's pretty cool. And he gets 20% to damage inflicted. This is not a bad kit. It's very clear that it's a free-to-play kit, but this is not bad. They're all rather plain, but out of all of them, this one seems pretty neat. This one could probably do some pretty good damage. Your standard strike and blast. His blue card is going to be the Dragon Smash. Doesn't even have blast armor, so 50% chance to cancel enemy attribute upgrades on hit. So it's basically a watered down version of the red Super Saiyan God Goku. I'm pretty sure it's his ultimate that does something similar. And then his green card, damage buff, key recovery buff, your standard stuff. Yeah, God of Destruction, Beerus Saga, strike attack, and defense, I'm guessing. Yep. And then finally, Super Saiyan Blue Goku Purple. He is a range type. Yep, look at that. The highest attack stat is for range. Decent defenses. Main ability, restore health 20%. 40% to damage inflicted 40 timer counts. Remove attribute downgrades. Not bad. Applies the following effects to self when he shows up on the battlefield. 50% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. 40% to blast damage inflicted. And reduces damage received by 30%. This is not bad, actually. That's 90% to blast damage inflicted. And because you only need 10 timer counts to use his main ability, you can basically squeeze in 5 timer counts worth of rather high attack stat here. You can get 30% blast damage inflicted, 90% to damage inflicted here for 5 timer counts. That's not bad. And then what do we got here? Applies the following effects to self. Oh, to allies when this character is switched to standby. So he's also a pseudo support. Hey, plus 10% to crit rate. This is a first, actually. No, it's not a first. I think the EX Boo does something similar to this. The one that gives a double defense for blue and purple. This is pretty cool. This is the only Saiyan I've seen do something like that. That's pretty neat. Not bad, not bad. And then that's your standard strike and blast. Super Kamehameha, major impact. Blast damage buff. Green card, restore key. 20% to damage inflicted by allies, which is nice. And then Frieza, Resurrected Saga, or Purple Blast Attack and Defense. Seems pretty neat-o for sure. So, I mean, it's 6 new free characters. Perhaps you were looking for one of these guys for your teams. I'm probably going to be using this guy for fun. I'm just happy to see another Super Saiyan 3. Now, speaking of new characters, we also got a Zenkai for this EX Gohan here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at him. 14 stars, maxed out right off the bat. High defenses for sure. High offenses as well. I'm pretty damn sure this Gohan is able to get 40% reduced damage received when he shows up. So tying that in with his Zenkai is rather impressive. So his main ability, restore health 20%, 20% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. This changes to restores ally health by 20% and 25% to damage inflicted. So it's just everyone gets a buff now. His first passive is 40% to blast damage inflicted when you have a Trunks battle member. It is now changed to applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. 20% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts, reduced damage received by 15 for 10 timer counts, and then he gets the additional 40% to blast damage if you're fighting with Trunks. That's not bad. And then his second passive was the infamous reduce 40% damage received when he's changing cover with the additional sub count when activated. That is now the same thing, but the sub count increase went from 3 to 2. Not bad. And then the new passives that show up. At Zenkai 3, you get Unfaltering Willpower. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. He gets level 1 card draw speed and 40% to key recovery. So this is pretty much like the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, the blue one, where tap attacks or any sort of damage would give him some card draw speed. Pretty cool. It's completely stackable, so if you're crazy and you keep throwing tap attacks at him, you're going to give him increased levels of card draw. And then at Zenkai 6, you get Valiant Fighter. Applies the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. Restore 30 key, 45% to damage inflicted. So he doesn't have a bad kit whatsoever. If you're going to be fighting with another Trunks, you're able to get yourself, what, 45, 40, 20, 105% blast damage inflicted. And then for just traditional damage inflicted, 65%. Factoring in his stats, that's not bad at all. Max potential of 130% blast damage. It's not a bad kit. He is a story EX Zenkai, so I would imagine that the ability to get him is also free. His blue card is still the same multiplier, still major impact damage, and his buff went from 15% strike damage to standard 15% damage inflicted. And then his green card is now restore own health by 10% and ki by 35. It used to be the same thing, actually. That remains unchanged. And his Zenkai ability is EX green units. So makes sense. It's following the standard pattern of these free EX Zenkais. And now the infamous super trash, this Goku here with only one passive, his Zenkai Awakening, I'm super excited for, because I don't know if you guys remember, but there's an awakened equipment that gives strike attack, blast attack, and then the last slot is a restriction to needing to run either this guy, the Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, and LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So I'm looking forward to actually having that equip mean something, because I re-rolled that thing like 500,000 times. Nice to see. So his stats, what are we looking at here? Zenkai, blast attack, strike attack, not bad. His defenses are looking really impressive. Makes sense because he's the defense type. His base form main ability inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade 40% to blast damage received for 25 timer counts. Takes 15 timer counts for that to happen. And we may as well look at his one unique. I mean, if everyone's up, he does 20% more blast damage. Yay. Now, that is shifted over to 30% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Inflict enemy with attribute downgrade plus 40% to blast damage received, which is much better. Definitely much better. Buff for himself. Enemy takes more blast damage. Not bad at all. Now, if you got your entire team up, he does 30% extra damage. He takes 20% less damage. That's not bad. 20% less damage factored in with 180k-ish defenses is pretty good. His second passive, now we don't have to refer back to his base form because he doesn't have any of these now. His second passive sees the initiative, reduce damage received by 20% until combo ends when changing cover, so you can get yourself 40% reduced damage received should everyone be up. Applies the following effects to self from battle start for 45 timer counts. He gets 30% to damage inflicted, nullifying attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. Not bad. No pesky Hercule is going to be stunning this boy. And then your third passive, that's impossible, applies the following effects to allies when this character is defeated. Oh, he gives a little death buff. Everyone heals 10%. Everyone gets a 20% damage inflicted passive. And then the final passive, to the bitter end, applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restore 30 ki, 10% to damage inflicted, which cannot be stacked, and he gets card draw speed. Not bad. Defensive unit with a pretty decent looking offensive kit. It looks like 70% tops, 70% damage inflicted tops with a 40% reduced damage received passive. That's not bad at all. Actually, it's 100% damage inflicted if you factor in his main. That's not bad, honestly. I'm pretty sure he's also going to be a free Zenkai because we can get him from the rare metal shop. So this isn't bad. It reeks of free Zenkai is the best way to put it. It's not bad. It's not going to be stellar. Yeah, at least it puts some respect on the guy. His blue card is still major explode damage from what I can see. Inflict enemy with 20% to damage received for 15 timer counts with a 30% chance to faint. I'm pretty sure the base form is just he takes extra blast damage. Yeah, so it's undiscriminatory now, which is good. And then his green card restores own ki by 45. Wow, 45. And 20% to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts. That's a long time. Went from just 15 before. It's pretty good. He's going to be buffing up blue Frieza Saga units, and you can tell right here that he's a free Zenkai because it's a rather low Zenkai ability. So that's pretty much all the new stuff that we're going to be seeing. The countdown to the anniversary is going to be starting soon, as you saw from we saw from the data mine. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is probably going to be the content that we're going to be seeing spread across for the next couple of days, probably the next week or so. But anniversary is soon. A bunch of new free units. We got the infamous Bait Legends Sparking Limit Break banner and a new event for gathering some new characters. So all in all, pretty handy stuff to keep us busy until the anniversary rolls around. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe if you're new for all the early showcases and all the good stuff. Don't forget to check out the second channel as well as the Twitch. We tend to go live almost every day. And until next time, peace out, guys.